Man, this certainly looks racist. And so I had the team. I was like, hey, tell me what ESPN says about this. As close as we'll probably ever get to Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan all over again. I assume, I mean, are you kidding? Did her hand catch a cramp? Look at what her fingers and hands do.
I look at it from that standpoint and I say mad respect. Are there other players in the WNBA that are better? Yes.
About what happened to Caitlin Clark. They'll be back in playoff action tomorrow against the Connecticut Sun in an elimination game. And so I just assume that all the social justice, racial justice warrior people would be up in arms and be like, hey, we got to call balls and strikes here.
Here, remember when Michael Jordan retired and everyone thought basketball was over? Well, the WNBA is having its MJ moment with Caitlin Clark, but here's the thing, she's just a rookie. So why is the league falling apart without her? Let's talk about Clark's crazy entry into the WNBA. This girl came in hot, breaking records left and right. She was the first rookie ever to score 25 points, grab 5 rebounds, and dish out 5 assists in her first playoff game. That's insane. And you know what's crazier? The Indiana Fever went from nobodies to the talk of the town. They were packing arenas with 17,000 fans per game, TV ratings through the roof. We're talking 1.8 million viewers for some regular season games. Clark turned the WNBA into must-watch TV. But here's where things get wild. What happens when your hero falls? Stick around, because this story is about to take a crazy turn. That Caitlin Clark should have been on a team ahead of the 12 people selected ahead of her because of basketball, man.
That Caitlin Clark should have been on the team ahead of the 12 people selected ahead of her because of basketball.
Man, this certainly looks racist. And so I had the team. I was like, hey, tell me what ESPN says about this.
How all of a sudden that's in the mind's eye of everybody else. You clearly have this person, Caitlin Clark, to thank for it.
The woman single-handedly carrying the WNBA to relevancy.
Well, that crazy turn happened, and it's not pretty. Imagine a roller coaster that only goes down. That's the WNBA right now without Caitlin Clark. But here's the real kicker. Just how far did they fall? Let's talk numbers, because they're wild. Remember those games with Caitlin? They were pulling in a whopping 1.8 million viewers. That's like filling up 20 NBA arenas. But after Clark's team got knocked out, bam, viewership crashed to just 161,000. That's not a typo, folks. We're talking about a drop of over 90%. You're probably thinking, no way, that can't be right. But it gets worse. To the playoffs, which should be the most exciting time of the season, turned into a ghost town. Empty seats everywhere, no buzz, no excitement. It's like someone hit the mute button on the whole league. Here's the kicker, not a single playoff game could even scratch 500,000 viewers. That's less than a third of what they were getting with Clark on the court. It's like the league went from prime time to late night infomercials overnight. Now you might be wondering, how does this happen? How can one player make such a huge difference? Well, it's not just about Caitlin Clark, it's about what she represents. She's fresh, exciting, and brings a whole new audience to the game. Without her, the WNBA is struggling to keep people interested. Think about it like this. Imagine if LeBron James suddenly disappeared from the NBA. Sure, there'd still be great players, but would casual fans tune in as much? That's the problem the WNBA is facing right now. But here's where it gets really scary for the league. This isn't just about TV ratings. Those empty seats, they mean less ticket sales, less merchandise flying off the shelves, fewer sponsorship deals. It's a domino effect that could hit the WNBA where it really hurts the wallet.
So I foolishly assumed, play the video of Carrington nailing Caitlin Clark.
In regards to Clark, starting with WNBA legend Cheryl Swoops herself.
Where all the people that Stephen A? Oh, she don't do this. She not gonna do that. Let her cook. So she couldn't get that double-digit assist record 3 consecutive games with at least 20 points.
Caitlin Clark got you watching the league because it wasn't just her. You wanted to see who eventually she was going to end up going against. She has you transfixed on the entire league. That's why I brought up Michael Jordan and Larry Bird.
And you know what's even crazier? This all happened in the blink of an eye. One day, the WNBA was riding high thinking they'd finally cracked the code. The next, they're scrambling to figure out how to keep the lights on. It's like they put all their eggs in one basket, and that basket just got knocked over. Now, don't get me wrong, Caitlin Clark is amazing, but relying on one player to carry an entire league, that's a risky game, and the WNBA is learning that lesson the hard way. You might be thinking, okay, so The ratings dropped, big deal, they'll bounce back, right? Well, that's the million-dollar question, or should I say the multi-million-dollar question, because if these numbers don't improve fast, we could be looking at some serious long-term damage to the league. Those dropping numbers aren't just hurting TV ratings, they're punching holes in the WNBA's wallet. And it's way worse than you might think. How bad? We're talking about a potential $10 million loss per season. That's enough to make any league sweat. Let's break this down. The WNBA was riding high on Caitlin Clark's star power, but now they're facing a financial nightmare. A $10 million hit isn't just a bad day at the office, it's a full-blown crisis. Think about what that means for the players, the teams, and the whole future of women's basketball player salaries. They might take a hit, team budget slashed, and forget about expanding the league or investing in new arenas. When the money dries up, everything suffers. But here's the real kicker: the WNBA dropped the ball on marketing. They had this superstar in Caitlin Clark, and what did they do? Almost nothing. Where were the commercials, the billboards, the social media blitz? It's like they had a golden ticket and forgot to cash it. And you know what's even crazier? Some analysts are going nuclear on the WNBA. They're saying without Clark, the league is nothing but a polished turd. Ouch, that's harsh, but it shows just how much trouble the WNBA is in. Think about it: if one rookie can make or break your entire league, you've got bigger problems than just low ratings. It's like building a house on sand. Looks great until the tide comes in.
When I think about Caitlin Clark, the operative word that comes to my mind is gratitude. There's an incredible level of gratitude that should be accorded to this young lady with what she did for the sport.
As close as we'll probably ever get to Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan all over again.
That's her last name. She bumped into her, fed up. Let her cook.
I said marketing matters in everything. Promotion matters in everything, and you're not going to get around that. That is what I said.
So, what does this mean for the future? The WNBA is at a crossroads. They can't just sit around waiting for the next Caitlin Clark to show up and save them. They need a game plan, and they need it fast. We're talking about a total overhaul, new marketing strategies, better player development, maybe even changing how the game is played, because right now the WNBA is learning a tough lesson. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. Even if basket is as amazing as Caitlin Clark, the league needs to figure out how to create stars, not just luck into them. They need storylines, rivalries, drama, all the stuff that keeps fans coming back, even when the biggest names aren't playing. And let's talk about fan experience. Empty arenas are a bad look, sure, but they're also a missed opportunity. The WNBA needs to make every game an event, something you can't get just by watching on TV. Food, music, entertainment, whatever it takes to get butts and seats.
Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's why you should have had Caitlin Clark.
I assume, are you kidding? Did her hand catch a cramp? Look at what her fingers and hands do.
There is no way in hell you just accidentally left Caitlin Clark's name out of that soliloquy that you dropped about the Indiana Fever. Stop it.
We talk about league attendance. The Indiana Fever, all right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road.
But here's the thing, it's not all doom and gloom. The WNBA has been around for over 25 years. They've weathered tough times before. And let's be real, they still have some of the best basketball players in the world. The talent is there. They just need to figure out how to showcase it. So, what's next for the WNBA? That's the million-dollar question, or should I say the $1 million question. They're in a tough spot, no doubt, but sometimes it takes a crisis to force real change. Maybe this is the wake-up call. The league needs to reinvent itself and come back stronger than ever. You know what they say about hitting rock bottom. There's nowhere to go but up. But what if the WNBA is not just planning a comeback? What if they're cooking up a whole new playbook that'll make you forget all about those falling ratings? Trust me, you're going to want to see this. The WNBA has got a golden opportunity here. And it's not just about finding the next Caitlin Clark, it's about creating a league where every player can be a star. Imagine turning on a game and not knowing who's going to blow your mind that night. That's the kind of excitement that keeps fans coming back for more. So, how do they do it? First up, scouting. The WNBA needs to hit the courts hard, finding those hidden gems that are just waiting to shine. We're talking about players with skills, sure, but also personality.